So, let's talk about the moment everyone has been buzzing about. Travis Scott is officially headlining Coachella 2025, and people have a lot to say about it. This isn't just another artist taking the stage, it's the culmination of literal years of controversy, cancellations, public outcry, and now a comeback that's dividing the internet. Alright, buckle up because this year's Coachella is already a full-blown circus and I'm breaking it all down. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly why Coachella 2025 is one of the most chaotic yet iconic lineups we've seen in years. Let's get into it. So let's rewind for a second. Travis was originally supposed to headline Coachella way back in 2020, alongside Rage Against the Machine and Frank Ocean. But then, boom, the pandemic hit. The whole festival got pushed to October, then canceled completely, and eventually rescheduled with a totally revamped lineup in 2022. At first, it looked like Travis was still in, but after everything that happened at Astroworld 2021, that changed very quickly. If you've somehow missed the Astroworld tragedy, here's the quick summary. Travis was performing at his own festival in Houston when the crowd surged toward the stage, trapping and crushing attendees. 10 people died, hundreds were injured, and the whole thing became a case study in how not to handle crowd control. It wasn't just a logistical nightmare. People pointed fingers directly at Travis. They said he saw what was happening and just kept going. There were lawsuits, there were petitions. Over 70,000 people signed to have him removed from Coachella 2022. And it worked. Golden Voice, the company behind Coachella, dropped him from the lineup. So now, fast forward to 2025. Travis Scott is back on that Coachella stage for the first time since 2017. And let's just say, the reactions are mixed. Some fans are thrilled, genuinely excited to see him perform again. He's known for putting on massive, high-energy shows. And say what you will, he knows how to work a crowd. But others, not so happy. There's definitely still tension in the air about whether this was the right move, and whether the festival is trying to quietly move past the Astroworld fallout. But here's the twist. Travis isn't just showing up and doing a basic headlining set. No. According to recent press and interviews, he's reportedly designing his own immersive stage experience at Coachella this year. Yep, LaFlame is taking over not just musically, but aesthetically, with a whole custom-built world meant to mirror his current creative vision. It's being hyped as the next chapter of his career. Some are calling it a rebirth moment, especially since he's been slowly rebuilding his public image after years of staying low-key. There are also rumors floating around about special guests showing up during his set. People are speculating names like Future, Don Toliver, and even Beyoncé. Though that one feels like a stretch. But hey, it's Coachella, so anything is possible. What we do know is that Travis is performing after Green Day, which is a wild pairing on its own. Imagine a punk rock nostalgia trip immediately followed by an auto-tuned rap rave. And in terms of production, expect chaos, but the good kind. Visuals, fire, smoke, insane lighting, custom animations, basically everything we've come to expect from a Travis show, just leveled up for the desert. Word on the street is that this set is meant to redefine his live legacy and separate him from the trauma associated with Astroworld. Now, let's not ignore the fact that this whole thing is still controversial. Even though legal investigations cleared him of criminal charges, a lot of people still associate his name with tragedy. There are ongoing civil suits, and many fans feel like the industry gave him a pass a little too easily. So, seeing his name in big, bold letters on the Coachella poster? Yeah, not everyone's cheering. But from a festival perspective, it's a big move. Travis Scott is a draw. His fan base is loyal, vocal, and absolutely massive. After struggling with low ticket sales last year, Coachella clearly wants to bounce back in a big way, and getting Travis on that stage is one of their boldest swings yet. Okay, y'all, Mother Monster is not just preparing to take over the Coachella stage, she's also battling a $100 million lawsuit. Yes, Gaga is in full pop icon mode this season, but apparently she's also in full legal defense mode too. So let's break it down. Gaga recently announced her latest album titled Mayhem, which, side note, is already making waves in the charts and getting fans absolutely hyped for her return to live performances. She's bringing all the theatrical, dark pop energy that her fans love, and she even announced the Mayhem Ball Tour, which is clearly her next big creative era. But just as that announcement dropped, so did a lawsuit. And not just any lawsuit, a $100 million lawsuit. Yep, you heard that right. The suit was filed by Lost Surfboards, a well-known California surf company founded by Matt Biolos, a legend in the surf community, by the way. They claim that Gaga stole their logo, the exact design. According to the complaint, Gaga's Mayhem album logo looks nearly identical to the trademark logo that Lost Surfboards has been using for over a decade. Now, before you roll your eyes thinking it's just a wave graphic or something generic, nope. They're saying the typeface, the edgy slanted lettering, the stylized flames, it all echoes the branding they've used since the early 2000s. And to make things even messier, Gaga didn't just use it for the album. The Mayhem branding is now plastered all over her tour merch. From hoodies to shirts, posters, hats, you name it. The merch is already being sold online and is expected to be everywhere during her Coachella set. And of course, this blew up fast. Gaga's fans, the little monsters, immediately came to her defense, saying it's just a coincidence, or that the surf company is clout chasing. But Lost surfboards? They are not playing. In the lawsuit, they claim that Gaga's use of the Mayhem mark is willful, deliberate, and calculated to deceive the public. Whew. They did not hold back. They're asking the court to stop Gaga from using the design entirely, which means if this escalates, it could affect everything from her tour visuals to her Coachella merch booth. As of now, Gaga's legal team has responded by filing a motion to dismiss. Their argument? The logos aren't that similar, and the two brands exist in totally different spaces. One in surf culture, one in entertainment and music. They're basically saying no one is going to confuse a Lady Gaga hoodie with a surfboard. And they might have a point, but trademark law doesn't always care about what makes sense. It cares about branding, intent, and whether the design can mislead consumers, even indirectly. Now, why does this matter for Coachella? Well, Gaga is set to headline, and that means tens of thousands of people will see the Mayhem branding live and in person. There will be merch tents, there will be pop-ups, there will be fans literally wearing the logo at the show. So if this lawsuit gains traction before her performance, there's a very real chance that the festival might be forced to change up how her visuals and branding appear on site, especially if a judge steps in and issues a temporary injunction. But let's be real, this is Gaga we're talking about. She's performed through far worse. She once sang in the rain in a metal bodysuit, danced with a broken hip, and jumped off the roof of the Super Bowl. A little legal drama? She's probably sipping tea over it in a clawfoot tub somewhere with chrome eyeshadow on. That being said, lawsuits like this can be draining, not just financially, but creatively. You've got a full global tour rolling out, a massive headlining slot at the biggest music festival in the country, and now a potential rebrand on your hands. Stressful doesn't even begin to cover it. Okay, so if you've been anywhere near the Coachella lineup recently, then you probably noticed some big changes, and not in a fun, surprise guest kind of way. We are talking full-on artist cancellations just days before the festival kicks off. This is not a drill. Coachella 2025 has already had to reshuffle its roster because several major names have suddenly dipped, and people are shook. So let's talk about who dropped out, why they dropped out, and what the heck is going on this year. First up, Anitta, Brazilian pop icon. Anitta was one of the most anticipated performers this year, especially for fans hoping to see her high-energy, dance-heavy set live in the desert. But out of nowhere, literally with no warning, she announced her withdrawal from the festival. On March 30th, she posted to social media saying, "I was really looking forward to being at Coachella this year, but due to unexpected personal reasons, I won't be able to perform. I'm truly grateful to the festival for the invitation and their understanding." No further details were given, and fans were not having it. The timing was rough, especially for international fans who made plans to fly in specifically to see her. Naturally, speculation started flying. Was it health, scheduling conflict, label drama? We still don't know for sure. But what we do know is that Anitta is officially out, and it left a major gap in the lineup for both weekends. Then we have Gel, and this one, y'all, it's wild. Like reality TV levels of wild. So Gel, for those unfamiliar, is a hardcore punk band from New Jersey that's been building serious buzz in the alt scene since 2018. They were supposed to bring a gritty, underground vibe to the lineup. But a few weeks before Coachella, the band announced they were breaking up. And not just breaking up, imploding. According to a lengthy post on their social media, the band is alleging that their guitarist, Anthony Webster, misused tens of thousands of dollars of band funds. We're talking about everything from rent money to, allegedly, OnlyFans subscriptions. It was messy. They also accused him of posting private, potentially explicit images of band members on Reddit, which, if true, is obviously beyond disturbing. The fallout was immediate. They pulled out of Coachella. They canceled all future shows, and the indie punk community has been reeling ever since. It's rare you see a band pull out of a career-making festival like this, let alone because of internal scandal. It's giving someone call Netflix because this is a documentary waiting to happen. And finally, FKA Twigs. This one actually hurt. FKA Twigs is known for her visually stunning, emotionally intense performances, a blend of avant-garde pop, contemporary dance, and theatrical visuals. Her Coachella 2025 set was being hyped as one of the most anticipated shows of the weekend. But then, she made a heartbreaking announcement just a week out from the festival. Due to ongoing visa issues, she was forced to cancel her entire North American tour, including both Coachella weekends. In a statement on Instagram, she said, "It pains me to say this because I was so excited to bring you a creation that I have poured my soul into. I believe it's among my strongest work." She added that she's working to reschedule shows and asked fans to check refund policies for headlining concerts. The whole situation has sparked frustration about how hard it is for international artists to tour the US, especially post-COVID when visa processing delays are still common. And honestly, it's just disappointing. Fans were really looking forward to seeing what she had planned, because if you've ever seen a Twigs set, you know it's more than just music. It's a full sensory experience. So, what does this mean for Coachella? Well, first of all, stress. For the organizers anyway, last-minute cancellations are basically their worst nightmare. You've got to deal with reprinting schedules, updating digital promotions, reworking stage times, not to mention handling ticket holder complaints. But to their credit, Coachella did move fast. To fill the gaps, they brought in Ed Sheeran and Weezer. Ed will be hitting the stage on weekend 2, while Weezer's set is locked in for weekend 1. Both are iconic in their own right, and fans seem generally excited. But it's still a shift in tone, especially for people who were expecting something more experimental or genre blending. And let's be honest, this kind of lineup chaos isn't totally new. We've seen this happen before. Remember when Frank Ocean dropped out last minute in 2023 and Blink-182 had to step in for weekend 2? Or when Kanye bailed in 2022 and The Weeknd filled in with 2 days' notice? At this point, last-minute dropouts might as well be part of Coachella tradition. Okay, now let's talk about the part of Coachella that gets people ranting on TikTok before they even buy a ticket. The cost. Like, yes, the lineup is huge and the content is flowing, but have y'all seen these prices lately? Because baby, this festival is not recession-friendly. So, first off, the general admission, GA, pass for weekend 1 is starting at $649 if you're skipping the shuttle. If you want that shuttle included, tack on another $130-ish. Weekend 2 is slightly cheaper, starting at $599 without the shuttle and about $679 with it. And that's just the bare bones. No upgrades, no VIP, no extras. If you're feeling fancy or just allergic to porta potties, the VIP passes start at $1,399 for weekend 1 and $1,199 for weekend 2. And nope, that doesn't include your hotel, travel, or even camping. It just gets you better viewing areas, nicer bathrooms, and shorter lines, allegedly. Now, let's talk camping, because a lot of people assume that's the budget-friendly move. And technically, yeah, it is. A basic car camping pass is going to run you about $179, and tent camping is the same price. But don't get it twisted. You're still looking at $800 plus minimum for your pass plus camping. And for the bougie campers, there's safari camping, which is basically Coachella's version of glamping. And it starts in the several $1,000s range. That's for people who don't just want to see the music, they want to do it with air conditioning and catered meals. But wait, we're not done. You still have to factor in travel, food, and lodging if you're not camping. Airbnbs within an hour of the festival start jacking up their prices the moment the lineup drops. People are paying $3,000 to $10,000 for full weekend stays in places that, outside of Coachella, go for like $120 a night. Hotel prices? Basically the same story. And that's if you can find one that isn't already blocked out by influencers and PR companies. And then there's gas, parking, ride shares, shuttle passes, drinks inside the festival, snacks, outfits, the Coachella uniform, if you will, and yeah, you're quickly looking at $2,000 plus just to show up. Which brings us to the big question. Is it even worth it anymore? Some people say absolutely, especially if you're there for the music and you plan ahead. Seeing that many artists in one weekend? It's basically the price of seeing 3 to 4 separate concerts. Others are like, Coachella has turned into a luxury lifestyle event that's drifting way too far from its roots. And it's hard to argue when some people are paying the cost of a used car just to say they were there. Ticket sales this year have definitely reflected that vibe. Weekend 1 did eventually sell out, but it took longer than usual. And weekend 2? Still available, still being pushed with shuttle combos and VIP upsells. Compare that to Coachella a few years ago, when passes were gone within hours. And yeah, the hype machine might be slowing down just a bit. So that was all. Please drop a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Bye-bye.